winding down, getting ready for Christmas Day in about 11 days. But first, we have another episode of Saturdaze with Mcvay and Jay. 11 days to Christmas, and we are here. Saturdays with Mcvay and Jay, episode number 17.
With special guest Mini Cat. Yay!
Mini Cat has shown and graced us with her presence because she knows where the warm
exactly, yeah. Well, she's in a Christmas mood, so to speak. There you go.
That's right. Well, she don't climb the tree too much, does she?
No, not that much, though. If there's any tree she climbs, it's her own little cat stand here, tree of sorts, that she has her little bed on it as well.
Well, that's good. At least you don't have to worry about the Christmas tree falling over because of her climbing.
That's true. Of course, I got another cat that might be a little more of a problem, but there we go.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the puppy dog, too.
That's true, yes.
So it's kind of like, but right now, Minnie, she's just like, well,
I want to keep petting you. That's what she wants to do. Okay.
All right. Well, this is officially 11 days to Christmas here, bro.
Yes, it is.
And it's cold here in Florida, too. And I found out going beyond the, the 2-week forecast on the first day of winter, which is officially December 21st, which will be our final show before the final recording, show before the Christmas and New Year's. It's going to be a whopping 37 here that night.
Yeah, I can believe it, though. Of course, we have really cool temperatures in Hayes, Kansas here.
Yeah.
We've been seeing probably 40s for the highs or so like that the past couple of days. And they said that yesterday we finally got a little bit of moisture as well. So there you go.
Yeah. And did you guys get a lot of selling of firewood over at where you work?
Ironically, not yet, though. If there's any firewood, it's usually sold at the other end of the store that I work at as well.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Home Depot and Lowe's, they are famous for firewood, fire pits, and all the things that we would have like a bonfire or something or to build some sort. But I figured maybe your sales were going to be a little bit busier with selling of the firewood.
Yeah, it all depends on the day of the week, though. I've seen the weekdays not as busy, weekends are the busier and all that, though. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. I love the way her eyes just like stare.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, she's like being rubbed like this. Yeah. She likes her skin done like this. Yeah.
But imagine if you're sitting in the dark and all of a sudden you got this pair of eyes looking at you.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Especially she also has her claws digging into you at the same time, like that.
Right? But it's like, it's just a kitty. It's like, who's looking back at you, right?
Exactly. That's true.
That puts a chill right down your spine. Yeah. All right, you got articles tonight, so you want to start yours?
Well, let's start with a nice article. I think you're going to like this first one today.
Oh boy,
you're going to like this one. Yes, and a Michigan high school choir will belt out holiday tunes from a towering Christmas tree.
Whoa!
And here's an image here showing that these students are indeed stacked into formation similar to that of a Christmas tree.
Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me get rid of that stupid thing. Let's read this up. It's in Muskegon, Michigan. A Western Michigan community is celebrating the 40th anniversary of its beloved singing Christmas tree. The Mona Shore Singing Christmas Tree features a 180-student high school choir standing 15 rows tall, belts out 19 holiday tunes at a Muskegon theater this week. Well, as it did like about a few days ago. This was dated the 7th, though. So we're talking about a week ago here from when this article came out. And let's see. It did several shows like that. It's 67 foot tall, 20 meters tall. And it's adorned with 25,000 LED lights and loads of greenery in it, too.
Oh, jeez.
Quoted from Sean Lawton, who has directed this choir for 3 decades, the singing Christmas tree is 100% a spectacle. Its tower-shaped trees has a hierarchy with freshmen near the bottom, sophomores and juniors in the middle, and seniors at the top.
I was wondering how they were placing now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to be on the top and be a senior at that moment, knowing that if you were fear of heights.
Yeah, but you think that's bad. It says at the very top, just underneath the star, is reserved for the tree, quote, tree angel, who's a student chosen by Mr. Lawton, who is not your top singer, but has all the heart. And this shows
volunteer services.
Performed at the base of the tree, unfortunately, this year, though. Still okay, though. And Ms. Amy was said to say, "This makes me really happy and excited and joyful to be selected as the tree angel." And it's pretty interesting how you can have like others, all this other, orchestra. There's a 50-member orchestra surrounding the tree, so they can have that small army of parents and other volunteers to make sure it all goes smoothly as well, both on the ground and in the tree. Because you have everyone standing on special scaffoldings for the most part. There you go.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing little device here. Like I said, this is a close-up. And if I can go back a step here, if you look carefully here, let me see if I can get a real close-up here. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Here we go. There is an image of the full-size tree inside the area right here.
Wow. From that perspective, yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the top knowing that.
There you go. Yes.
Wow. That is one tall tree.
It is a very interesting and tall tree if you think about it. Yes.
Yeah. And the merry angel that stands up there at the very top. And now, did it say it was outside?
No, it's inside.
Oh,
it was inside this big theater, actually. Here,
yeah. Imagine if it was outside on a cold night and you're way up on the top there. You're going to
you can get frozen. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you get chilly bones. Yeah,
exactly. But it is a pretty interesting story if you think about it. There you go.
Yeah, I got nervous when you said when they were standing up that tall, and I'm thinking, golly, is it that cold night and the poor angels on the top?
But thankfully, like I said, this is interior, but they still have to have lots of support and be able to not topple over here. So that's the important part too.
Thank God for that. All right. Well, it's time now for News of the Weird.
All right.
From this week, of course, the editors at Andrews McNeil Syndication for uexpress.com is the latest. And this, of course, is from last Friday's December 6th, 2024. The lead story is an awesome one, Scott.
All right. You tell me what about it.
Well, no doubt inspired by WKRP in Cincinnati. You've heard of the show before, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Esther Keim of Anchorage, Alaska, this year completed her third Alaska turkey bomb. The Associated Press reported. And when Keim was growing up in rural Alaska, a family friend would drop turkeys to her family and others from a plane, along with newspapers and chewing gum.
Oh, okay.
She started her tradition with a small plane she rebuilt with her father. And this year she dropped 32 frozen turkeys to people living beyond roads. Okay. Dave and Christina Luce live in a 90-minute snowmobile ride from the nearest town. I'm 80 years old now, so we make fewer and fewer trips, Dave said. Keim has been a real good friend, and she hopes to start a nonprofit organization to solicit donations and reach more people with more than just the turkeys. There's so many kids out in the villages, she said. It would be cool to maybe add a stuffed animal or something they can hold. Maybe like a kitty cat. Oh, there goes.
Kitty cat decides she wants to walk to another part of the ring. Now you can see my shirt.
There you go. Oh, yeah, ready to go. Okay, you got Family Value, my friend.
Yes, I do. There's a few of these, but we'll each do at least one. How about that?
Yep.
Okay, first, an unnamed mother in Cheshire, England, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for extreme neglect after her 3-year-old daughter of hers was found to have been living in a drawer under a bed, the BBC reported. The mother hid the child from her siblings and even from a boyfriend who discovered her in 2023 after hearing her cry when the mom was away.
Whoa.
The court said she was severely malnourished, looking more like a 7-month-old baby, and had a cleft palate, matted hair, and other deformities. The mother told police she had not realized she was pregnant and was really scared when she gave birth, calling the child not part of the family. Thankfully, the judge, Stephen Everett, said he could not, quote, remember a case as bad as this in my 46 years.
Wow.
That's like, that's sad, Worse. It's actually worse than how Harry Potter was supposed to be living with the Dursleys. Go figure.
Yep. And 3 generations of a family in Palm Coast, Florida celebrated Black Friday by shoplifting $400 worth of cosmetics and alcohol from a Target store.
Whoops.
The Miami Herald reported a 76-year-old woman, her 54-year-old daughter, and a juvenile granddaughter were arrested after a Target law specialist saw the juvenile putting items in her backpack, police said. The 2 adults were charged with theft and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The girl was turned over to her father.
Oh, wow. Well, like mother, like daughter, like grandmother. There you go.
Yep, 3 generations.
By the way, next story. Don't try this at home. It says that firefighters battled a blaze for more than 16 hours in Western Connecticut back on Thanksgiving. WFSB reported this after flames erupted as someone tried to fry a turkey.
I knew it. I knew it. That damn deep fried turkey fire again. Yeah.
All right, but you think that's bad? Listen to this more. The fire, which started in the garage of a $4 million mansion, that's how big it was, quickly spread to the rest of the house, and 6 other fire departments joined in the effort to fight the fire. None of the residents or neighbors were hurt, but the home was deemed uninhabitable.
$4 million down the toilet.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because they wanted deep fried.
Yeah, and I was going to say 4 million plus because remember all the other stuff in the house too, though.
Yeah, goodness knows what was in the house. They don't specify.
Right, exactly, though.
And here's your next bright idea, and if you're fortunate enough to live in California, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, or Florida over the next couple of weeks, which is me, you can have your photo snapped while driving through Taco Bell.
Ooh.
KTLA TV reported, every day in our drive-thrus, we see moments that are so uniquely our fans, said Chief Marketing Officer Taylor Montgomery. Select locations will be transformed into photo booths, with some of the photos ending up on a Taco Bell commercial during the third quarter of the Super Bowl. Participating fans will need to have the Taco Bell app and scan a QR code at the drive-thru. Photos will be sent to the account holder's email address. Smile. First of all, I don't go through drive-thru, so that doesn't apply. Second of all, I don't have the app, so again, no dice.
Well, because I am a frequent user of Taco Bell, I do, but unfortunately, it's not in my state. Darn it.
Nope.
Or not my town either, which is sad, though. But I got another one of those similar ones. In Lone Tree, Colorado, back on November 23rd, police officer Jacob Tarr was busy arresting a suspect in a theft when the perp took off on foot, KY3 television reported. Thinking fast, Tarr commandeered a kid's bike to continue the chase, police said. The suspect might have had a scooter, but Officer Tarr had determination and a kid's bike. The police shared on social media. The suspect, who had 3 outstanding warrants, was eventually nabbed and charged with felony theft. Well, at least Officer Tarr knew how to think fast in a situation like this.
Yep. But why, Scott? Why?
Let's find out why.
35-year-old Taylor Wade Gibson and his wife, 32-year-old Bailey Alexis Gibson, were charged with child abuse on November 27th in Columbia, Missouri, after Taylor tried to perform a circumcision at home on their infant son.
Dude.
Took the child to Lake Regional Hospital after being alarmed by the amount of blood. And Bailey told police she was very hesitant about her husband doing the procedure, but helped him do it. Social services went to the home on November 29th and removed 5 children. The Gibsons are scheduled to be back in court January 28th. Wow.
Can we have just said, next time, guys, if you were even thinking of doing this, go to a doctor.
Or go to
they know what he's doing.
Yeah,
He knows what he's doing. Good grief.
Make an appointment to go see the pediatrician and have it done right.
Or if you really want to get it, go to your local rabbi.
Yeah, exactly. They're trained for that too. Yep.
There you go. Well, here's some animal antics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they say all fashion trends eventually come back around. Well, Science Alert reported back on December 3rd that orcas off the west coast of North America have started wearing salmon as hats. Again.
Good.
Yeah, the fad was first noticed in 1987 in Puget Sound when orcas started balancing dead fish on their noses. Scientists believe that they may be storing the food for later, or just quote showing off, or just may feel good. Humpback whales, for example, have been known to wear hats of seaweed. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine, said Deborah Giles, the science and research director at Wild Orca. With further study, quote, we may be able to gather enough information to show that, for instance, one carried a fish hat for 30 minutes or so, and then he ate it. Now that's funny. I like that one.
I would love to get that seaweed hat, man. I know I would have that smell of sushi in my,
Yeah, get the combination of the salmon and the seaweed, and just add some rice.
Exactly. Have a seaweed salad with salmon. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, here we go, Scott. Here's a least competent criminal.
Here we go.
Maybe don't record your crimes in your journal. And that's a lesson just learned by 30-year-old Vanessa Guerrera of Mankato, Minnesota.
Uh-oh.
The smoking gun reported that on the same day that a 2004 Ford Freestar van was stolen, Guerrera wrote in her diary, totally stole a car today, something I never thought of doing. She sold the van to an auto salvage company for $2,000. And as investigators closed in on Guerrera as the thief, she told them she didn't know the van was stolen. But they were able to locate a journal belonging to Guerrera that included her admission. She was charged with 2 felonies.
Yeah.
Never leave a trail of breadcrumbs behind, especially paper breadcrumbs,
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. But it's come to this, folks.
Oh, boy.
Here's from the But Why Would You Want to file. The New York Post reported back on December 4th that Miller High Life has released a new cologne just in time for the holidays. Dive Bar Fume evokes the smells of a bar counter, leather stools, and tobacco, so you can be in your favorite dive bar whenever you want. It also includes sea salt for the basket of fries on popcorn, and Champic Blossom, which of course smells like Miller High Life. Let's set you back about $60 a bottle. It comes in a fancy gift box. But one commenter asked this: does it smell like shattered dreams?
I wonder if they have one called Crown Royal Fume.
I wonder, I wonder. Makes you wonder what other types of settings that involve beer you want to have scented. Can hold on to the scent of.
I like let's see, creme de mint, creme de banana, creme de coco.
Those are all good. Yeah.
Yep, those have
Curacao is a good one too. There you go.
99 bananas and 99 grapes.
There you go. Here's the questionable judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, this wraps up the this week's with a questionable judgment. Amanda Jody LeBlanc of Blandford, Nova Scotia, found a dog sitter she liked and booked them several times over the summer, the CBC reported on November 19th. Mm-hmm. Well, that is until she discovered a video of the sitter advertising on an account on OnlyFans.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Immediately recognized her own home in the background, her bathroom, and her outdoor pool. Now, she bought a subscription to the service and discovered more explicit content filmed in her house. I am still shocked by it, to be honest with you, LeBlanc said. Everyone can do whatever they want. I don't care. I just don't want it done in my home. The dogs were not featured in the videos. Thank
goodness. Yeah.
That's what oh, my gosh. That is still scary stuff if I ever thought.
But that makes you wonder, must have been that house must have been much better than the dog sitter's own house, though, to have that sitter, do all the OnlyFans, which is weird. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Article number 2 from you, Scott.
Yes, let me bring it up real quickly here. And we have. Okay, let's see. Should be the one here. Here we go. These British brothers have amassed the world's largest collection of Pokemon cards. So it looks like here, according to this, listed just about 2 days ago, this article came out. A pair of British brothers earned a Guinness World Record for their collection of, get this, 48,339 different Pokemon cards.
Wow, no repeats.
That's right. The Pokemon trading card games superfans were Owen and Connor Gray. They took the collection of the largest collection of Pokemon cards. The original owner was a gentleman named Benjamin DeGuire, whose collection only had 34,310 cards 1 year ago. The slogan, of course, is "I've got to catch them all," and that's what they tried to do, said Owen Gray.
Wow.
They come from several different countries and are printed in multiple languages. We have all of them bar except for the Dutch language. That became impossible for us to find, said Connor. Anyone with the Dutch edition, first edition, let us know, Owen added. Well, they said one of the most fortuitous finds came when they bought some bags full of cards that were found originally in an attic. There were probably 3,000 to 4,000 cards just thrown in a JD Sports bags, and in that combination were 2 Gold Star Charizards, which today are both worth anywhere between £5 and £25,000. Well, I mean, 5,000 to 25,000 pounds, which is approximately 6,350 to 31,751 each.
Wow.
They were not in bad condition at all. And Connor offers some tongue-in-cheek advice for any other aspiring Pokemon collectors, urging them to save their money.
Yeah.
And the brothers are now taking their cards on tour of U.S. United States collector shows scheduled for next year.
Ooh.
And as I mentioned, here is a good picture here with some of their graded cards there as well.
So I wonder if they're going to go to like a MegaCon or Comic-Con.
I think so. Yeah, they're going to go. It looks like from what they said, they're touring several places throughout the United States next year. Unfortunately, this article doesn't tell me where, but you get a few ideas. So there you go.
Yeah, but you're on the list of when it's coming to your town anyways. You got a pretty
good not me, though. Not personally myself, but someone similar to that, though, as well.
Oh, all right. Well, it's time now to go to the News of the Weird archives for October 13th, 1996. So we're getting into the second week of October. And the first article up for bids is The Wayward Principles. Oh, boy.
Okay, you're like this. Let's start with several of these here together. You're going to love this one. Yeah. On September 3rd, the principal of Sylvia Elementary School in Bethlehem, West Virginia, George S. Meadows, age 55 at the time, was suspended after being arrested for prostitution. Here's the deal. He was wearing a wig and dressed as a woman at the time. Also on September 4th that year, the principal of Charles Brush High School in Lyndhurst, Ohio, Walter Conte, age 50, was arrested and charged with clandestinely videotaping 16 cheerleaders as they changed into swimsuits for a party at his lakefront home.
Lucky guy.
Pervert!
Definitely. Well, in August, the Copenhagen, Denmark Zoo added an exhibit to its primate collection amid the baboons and chimpanzees. A Homo sapiens couple who will go about their daily business in a plexiglass-walled natural habitat consisting of kitchen, living room, bedroom, and workshop, as well as a computer, television, telephone, stereo, and fax machine. Said a zoo official, "We are all monkeys in a way, but some people find that hard to accept."
This kind of reminds me of that episode of South Park when they found that guy in the cave, frozen in the cave, stuck from the 90s. And so they put him on an exhibit with all the stuff from the stuff from the 90s he remembered, though. Kind of similar to that. Well, the Lazarus Society in Cologne, Germany, recently released a confession by computer on a CD-ROM with a menu of the 200 most frequent sins and a separate program to allow the particularly iniquitous to customize the sins to which they will confess. Appropriate penances are prescribed, as well as a link to priests via the internet. The German Conference of Bishops quickly denounced the disc, and back in June of 1996, Reverend David E. Corter of the Independent Catholic Church International told an Associated Press reporter he would soon celebrate Mass online and allow people to take communion via computer by placing unleavened bread in front of their monitors.
Wow.
Wow is right. There we go.
And now we have that today, some almost 30 years later.
Kind of, though. I mean, my church, for example, likes to do broadcasts of their services over the internet. They're on Facebook. There you go.
Yeah, for the shut-ins or for those who can't get to church.
Yeah, this was very useful during the pandemic too. There you go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, in April, Eastern Orthodox monks in the former Soviet Republic of Moldova signed a contract with the Excision Corporation, one of the leading builders of the severely depressed Moldovan economy. And under the contract, Exciton would help support a monastery and assist the monks in recovering lost icons, and the monks would pray for Exciton's bottom line. Wow.
Oh, good Lord.
Boy, I never heard of Exciton before. But then again, I wouldn't want to be named Exciton.
I can imagine this. Oh, Lord, praise us, praise you for your bounty, and please protect the Exciton group.
Yep. All right.
Well, completely separate police investigations began in August in Lake Helen, Florida, and Woburn, Massachusetts, after parents complained that their children had been baptized without permission at local churches, Central Fellowship Baptist in Florida and Anchor Baptist in Massachusetts. Anchor allegedly lured housing project kids with the promise of pizza, which the kids say they never received.
And I want,
where's the pizza?
give me that pizza.
Yeah.
And I will never get baptized until you give me that pizza. You understand?
Yeah.
In May, Social Security Commissioner Shirley Chatter went against an agency policy by reassigning a Social Security number based on a religious complaint.
What?
American Maria Bessum's toddler had been assigned a number containing 666, the biblical mark of the beast, and protested by refusing to claim the child on income tax forms. A Pentecostal pastor near the Bessum's home in Orange County, California, has a zip code of 92666.
Whoops.
He accepts it because it is not a personal identifier like the Social Security number.
Okay, that makes more sense, though, but still, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, recently, the All-Merciful Savior Russian Orthodox Monastery realized it needed to raise money through an entrepreneurial venture. Since the order is located in Vashon Island near Seattle, it decided to make and market 4 blends of gourmet coffee at $20 to $30 a pound, including a signature blend, Abbott's Choice.
Wow, $20 to $30 a pound. Gee whiz.
Yeah. Well, that's about what you would get for Starbucks these days. Come on.
Yeah, right? And at a preliminary hearing in July in Guthrie, Oklahoma, is that you know where Guthrie, Oklahoma is?
Not so much. I used to live in Enid, and that's my knowledge back. But remember, I was like about 6 years old when we moved, so yeah.
Okay. Well, a woman said Jimmy Don Bronin assaulted her in his mobile home and then changed into black pantyhose, a garter belt, women's underpants, a training bra, and white high-heeled shoes.
Whoa.
The victim ran out the door and escaped when Bronin was not able to keep up with her in his high heels.
Okay, so she robbed him and dressed him up like a woman. Oh,
yeah,
brother.
give or take. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Tom Murphy of Pittsburgh sold his 30 homing pigeons last year after an injury left him unable to care for them. 2 were sold to buyers in Amarillo and Austin, Texas. In August, the 2 escaped and flew back to Murphy, making the 1,500 miles in about 5 days. Well, they are homing pigeons.
That's right. And then in August at the Loyal Wisconsin Corn Fest, 24-year-old Steven Schiller and 25-year-old Kevin Froba won prizes at the familiar strength game in which a contest slams a mallet onto a device that causes a weight to ascend and ring the bell, you know.
Right. I know those high
however, however, they later complained to the game operator about the quality of their prizes, and an altercation ensued. Schiller and Froba were hospitalized after the operator hit each of them in the head with a mallet.
Ooh. Hey, you don't like my prizes? bonk.
Oh, good night.
Exactly. There you go.
That's what you get for shooting your mouth off about your prizes. Just take them and go and get the heck out of there before somebody nails you with the mallet.
Right. Okay, in May of 96, Karen Watson, age 20 at the time, gave birth to a baby boy in Albany, Oregon, which she said took her completely by surprise, though she said she had been suffering from anemia.
Ooh.
But of course, this was not the first case of a woman unexpectedly giving birth. But Ms. Watson here is a pre-med biology major at the University of California, Davis, with plans to go into family practice.
Wow. I wonder how she would nowadays after going into that family practice.
Oh, no, me too. I hope she made it in there. So there you go.
Latest Postal Service firearms news. In August in New Egypt, New Jersey, letter sorter 44-year-old Roger Johnson was arrested after a search of his booby-trapped home revealed explosives, gas grenades, 85 guns, and thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Uh-oh.
And in Patterson, New Jersey, 2 days later, Postal Service mechanic Danny Isku was arrested for shooting his supervisor in the hand, and news reports indicated Isku was a member of a Patterson Postal Workers Gun Club.
Okay. I remember the days when people were worried about post office workers going completely crazy and shooting up people, but this almost, was like saying, okay, be scared now. I'll be scared.
I'll give you the next two because this one.
Yeah, the first one's a pretty short one, but let's go to May. In May, an unidentified co-pilot on a Danish Maersk Airlines flight from Birmingham, England to Milan, Italy, with 49 passengers aboard, had an anxiety attack over France because he was afraid of heights, and he later resigned. You think that was bad? In September, a man was crushed to death on a stairway at the Samus Real Estate, an insurance office in Huntington, New York, in the process of stealing the office's 600-pound safe.
Jeez.
He apparently violated the cardinal rule of stairway safe hauling by standing on a step lower than the one the safe is on. And it turned out the safe was empty.
Oh.
Also in Tucson, Arizona, a man intending to commit suicide in September is still alive. He turned on the gas in his trailer home and sat down to go in peace. But then he decided to smoke his last cigarette. An explosion followed, and he was hospitalized with first and second degree burns.
He didn't want to smoke. He didn't want to commit suicide, but he'd rather have a smoke and blow himself up, and then it just backfired on him.
Yeah, he didn't die. That's a problem.
He got first and second degree burns, which means he was still alive. But he probably got. I wonder, some 30 years later, does he have the scars to,
I wonder what.
Today?
I was thinking if it's only first and second degree, they probably have healed pretty well by now, though. So there you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you know what they say, give or take.
True.
All right, now we're going to pull up some Christmas humor stories. I found these very recently, and we're only 11 days left to Christmas. So these next 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at some funny Christmas-related stories.
I think
I'll take the first one. This is a cryptic Christmas card. A man sent his friend a cryptic Christmas card that said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. The recipient puzzled over it for a few weeks, finally gave up and wrote asking for an explanation. In July, he received the explanation on a postcard. No L.
Yep. I've seen this puzzle quite a few times in party games, among other things, for the Christmas.
Yeah.
But here's a true story. The nativity play was going as planned, and Joseph and Mary were going from house to house, knocking on the doors and asking if there was any room for them. As they continued to get no room answers, a little voice called from the back, "You should have booked!" Bring the house down.
And as the little girl climbed onto Santa's lap, Santa asked the usual, "And what would you like for Christmas?" Well, the child stared at him, open-mouthed and horrified for a minute, then gasped, "Didn't you get my email?"
Oh. Well, that's the modern day Santa thing. There you go.
Right. Yep.
Speaking of which, who kissed Santa? Well, At my daughter's elementary school Christmas concert, this is from a lady named Sally in Georgia.
Yep.
A first grade girl introduced their song, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, with clear, articulate, well rehearsed speech, and not in the least aware of this mix up, saying, Oh, what Mommy would have thought if she saw Daddy kissing Santa Claus.
And the real Santa, well, the local newscaster was with the crowd of parade watchers welcoming Santa as he arrived in town, and in a live interview asked a bossy 4-year-old girl if she had talked with this Santa yet to give him her Christmas list. No, she replied emphatically. Are you going to talk with Santa? The newscaster asked. No. Once again was the most definite answer, which was not the reaction that he was expecting at all. Why? He curiously asked the little one. Because the real Santa is at the mall.
That was her belief. There you go.
Yeah.
This one's a good one.
Ah.
Okay, it's kind of like a joke of sorts, but here we go. A woman takes her 16-year-old daughter to the doctor. The doctor goes, Okay, Mrs. Jones, what's the problem? Mother goes, It's my daughter, Darla. She keeps getting these cravings. She's putting on weight and sick most mornings. The doctor gives Darla a good examination, then turns to the mother and say, Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but your Darla is pregnant. About 4 months will be my guess. And mom goes, Pregnant? She can't be. She's never been left alone with a man. Have you, Darla? And Darla goes, No, mother. I never even kissed a man. Well, the doctor walked over to the window and just stares out of it. About 5 minutes pass, and finally the mother asks, finally mother says, Is there something wrong out there, doctor? And the doctor goes, No, not really. It's just that the last time anything like this happened, a star appeared in the east and 3 wise men came over the hill. I'll be damned if I'm going to miss it this time.
Yes, second time around,
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm. There was a young boy who was saying a prayer out loud one night, and his brother was listening to him. This boy asked God for a fresh milkshake in the morning. His brother said, Just shake a cow and milk it. It will save God the trouble.
Oh, funny. Well, here we go. One day during the children's sermon at church, I was telling the kids about how the angel came to Mary to tell her about how she will help bring Jesus into the world. One little girl seemed puzzled about the whole scene. Then another child asked what I thought the first thing Mary would have asked for after the angel left her. Instantly, that other girl who was puzzled chimed in and says, I bet she asked for a little help from Joseph.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And a 10-year-old, under the tutelage of her grandmother, was becoming quite knowledgeable about the Bible. And then one day she floored her grandmother by asking, which virgin was the mother of Jesus? The Virgin Mary or the King James Virgin?
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
I like this one. While participating in a church Christmas pageant many years ago, I had the good fortune to be chosen as the narrator. Each rehearsal went off well, and then on the night of the show, I, in a loud and penetrating voice, announced the gifts of the Magi as gold, Frankenstein, and myrrh.
Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad,
That's true, yeah.
That's right. I wouldn't want Frankenstein to show up at the
It could have been worse though. It could have been gold, Frankenstein, and Merv, as in Merv Griffin.
Merv, yeah. And a boy wanted to be Joseph in the Sunday school pageant. He was cast as the landlord and objected loudly, but to no avail. And when the pageant was presented, Mary and Joseph knocked on the door and asked him if he had a room for them. The boy smiled and said, Yeah, sure, lots of room. Come on in.
Yeah, right. Oh, I like this next one. The store's Santa Claus gave Jeannie a candy cane. Her mother says, What do you say, Jeannie? Jeannie looks up at Santa and says, Charge it!
Yeah, Bud Brooks from Stamping Ground, CC, Stamping Ground, Kentucky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Well, at Sunday school, the younger children were drawing pictures illustrating biblical stories. The teacher walked by and noticed one little boy was drawing an airplane. Oh, what Bible story are you drawing? She asked. This is the flight into Egypt, the little boy answered. See, here is Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. And this, he said, pointing to the front of the plane, is Pontius. He's the pilot.
Oh, funny.
Oh,
Would have been a very young Pontius Pilate at this point.
yeah, right. He wasn't even existing at the time. Herod was the king.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Okay, a little boy named Nicholas told the store's Santa Claus this. You and I have the same name. And Santa goes, well, hello, Harold. Hello, Harold. Hello, Harold.
And since we're in the season of Advent right now still.
Yes, exactly.
While a man had gone out driving to do some Christmas shopping, his wife had been watching TV when she heard the announcer say, be very careful and watch driving on 15 today. Or I-5?
Yeah, I-5.
There is a motorist driving the wrong way. His wife got hold of him on the cell phone to warn him, and his reply was, you tell me there are hundreds of them here.
Oh, no. Whoops. Here's something here. I like this one. The parents began to assemble for the special Christmas gift they had for their children. They had ordered a kit for a treehouse and received the plans for it. However, the materials they received were for a sailboat. They wrote the company to complain, and the company's reply was this. While we regret the inconvenience this mistake must have caused you, it is nothing compared to that of the man who is out on a lake somewhere trying to sail your treehouse.
Wow. Yep. Two young boys were spending the night at their grandparents' house the week before Christmas. At bedtime, the two boys knelt beside their beds to say their prayers. The younger one began praying at the top of his lungs. I pray for a new bicycle. I pray for a new Nintendo. His older brother leaned over, nudged him, and said, why are you shouting? God isn't deaf. To which the little brother replied, no, but Grandma is.
Just want to make sure that Grandma heard this.
I think Joel Osteen told this joke once to his congregation on a service.
I can believe it, though. Yeah,
that's true.
Here's some actual children's versions of your favorite Christmas carols. Sleep in heavenly peace. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. This is he whom seers of old. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain. And while shepherds wash their socks by night.
I didn't know they even had socks. I thought they were wearing knee-highs.
Pretty much, yeah.
When my daughters were little, I would always tell them around Christmas that this is Jesus's birthday, and he only received 3 things, so do not be disappointed in what lies under the tree. Well, when it came time for worship on Christmas morning, I asked the children what they thought Jesus would think of Santa and all the hype. Would he ask Santa a question? My youngest daughter replied, I think Jesus would ask, how come I only got 3 things and none of them were toys?
That's a good thing for a 3-year-old. There you go. Okay. The Viking Mary? Okay. When my son was 8 years of age, he was in a Christmas pageant at our church. The line started, and the Virgin Mary was with child. He did his line correctly at every rehearsal. But on the night of the presentation, everything was going wonderfully. All the children were relaxed and recited their lines without flaw. And then it came for my son to recite his line, and this is exactly how it came out. And the Viking Mary was with child. It was quite a job for all the adults watching the presentation to restrain ourselves and not bellow out in laughter.
And finally, after the Christmas pageant, I asked my 6-year-old son if he remembered the gifts that the Magi brought to Jesus. He thought for a minute, then said, gold, frankincense, and humor. We could all use that.
Yeah, humor. Yeah, I like that. I like the ending of that. That's good.
Yep. All right. With about 15 minutes left on our 45-minute show,
Actually, I think we've already finished the 45 minutes here, right?
Well, we started at 7:15. That's only a half hour.
No, it's 6. It's almost 8 o'clock right now.
It is. Wow. Shoot, I lost track of time.
All right.
Well, okay. We were going to do the 25 unfortunate but very funny signs. Of course, I'll bookmark that for next week.
All right, then.
Up there. But I'm glad we got the Christmas ones to kind of, kind of lead us out into this show.
Exactly. There you go.
And we have one, like I said, next week will be our final show of the year.
Yep. Get our full Christmas gear out. Here we go.
We'll be with Santa hats, and I don't know what the color is going to be.
Well, actually, we'll probably deck out ourselves in some other Christmas gear. How about that?
Yeah, pretty much. If I could just opt to put like a red hat with a red shirt on or something, just to kind of be coordinated. And then, and then when we come back after 2 weeks of not being on, we'll be on a different streaming service. So there'll be our final recording on StreamYard will be next week. So bye-bye StreamYard after the 21st. Ooh, yeah. It's going to be a sad day in streaming history, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. But it will be the beginning of a new era, so to speak, for us as well, too.
That's right. We've already tested it, and probably during the time that we're off, we'll probably be testing even more shows to see if the audio is good and everybody coming in. At least have one big meeting at least during the 2 weeks that we'll be off. So
that's true, though. Well, if you don't mind right now, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick goodbye here for this week. And Jason, you can just take us out there as well, okay?
All right, Scott. See you next week. And, of course, we'll see you all next week as well. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye.